Let's try this again. Good morning, great morning, extraordinary morning. The shitty Wi-Fi can't affect my day. The shitty Wi-Fi can't affect my life. The tiny little challenges and issues and problems and obstacles that we face every day, we cannot let them affect us. Allie! Good morning, guys. Your family looks beautiful. Good morning, great morning, extraordinary morning. Give me a couple thumbs up, some hearts, some likes if I'm coming in clear. Good morning, Angie. Let me know that I'm coming in clear, guys. Drop some hearts. My sister, Catherine Doan. Good morning, guys. Yes, I'm working off of no Wi-Fi, so just let me know while we get a couple on right now before we get this message going. What's going on? Let me know that you're living a good life, a great life, maybe even an extraordinary life. Excellent. Yes, all right. Let's do this thing, guys. Good morning, great morning, extraordinary morning. I hope you are ripping your life wide open. Good morning, Mike Myers. It was great to see you this past weekend in Palm Springs. Yes, it is. Guys, today is my son's 11th birthday. 11 years my son has been on this earth, and I can close my eyes and go back to the day he was born. The day before he was born at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California, the same hospital I was born in 27 years later. And I can recall it like it was yesterday. That's my message for the day, guys. 11 years goes by like that. 20 years like that. 30, 40, 50, that's a wrap. That's your life. You and I cannot hesitate. We cannot wait. We cannot procrastinate. We cannot make excuses. We cannot allow ourselves to become our greatest limiting belief. 11 years ago, my life changed. And I don't just mean changed like now I had to start wiping babies' asses. My boy, Nasinovich, Matt Emerson, good friends, family. It was great to catch up with you guys. Yeah. So 11 years ago, this child is born. He's brought into the world, and automatically responsibilities start to grow. Your mindset starts to shift. The choices that I made start to change, and you start to look at life a little differently. Unlike the goldfish or the dog that you can forget to feed for 2 or 3 days, this human being is relying on you. And having grown up myself without a father figure, I decided to step up and not just raise my kids and not just babysit, like I hear a lot of dads say, but take absolute full responsibility and dedication to this life. And this life just happened to be a boy and a son before my daughter was born. And I made a commitment, not to my wife, not to my marriage, not even to my family. I made a commitment to myself, which is the most important kind of commitment. Because we don't ever want to let ourselves down. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was sick and tired of not only letting myself down, but of letting other people down. So I decided to rip it wide open. 11 years! Today, my son is 11 years old. He is almost 2 years over the halfway point. He will only be in my house for another 250 weekends. If you guys have ever seen the weekend jar that I've created, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. You get 2 jars. You put a ton of BBs or marbles. You count exactly how many weekends you have left with your child before they turn 18. Right now, all he wants to do is hang out with dad. But I know that's gonna change. I know a girlfriend's gonna come into play. I know responsibilities are gonna come into play. I know 3 sports and a job, and all these things are gonna start to come into play. So I don't wanna miss an opportunity to spend time with my son. You guys have probably heard my quote before, not my quote, but a famous quote. He who teaches his son not only teaches his son, but his son's son, and so on until the end of time. Rip it open! High five somebody next to you, turn the volume up, let's get this thing going. Appreciate you, brother. Here we go. 11 years, been the best 11 years of my life. Why? Because of these very simple principles, because of these steps, because of these cornerstones. So if you're not living your ideal life, implement these. Add them to your day. 1, 2, 3, use all 11. The number one rule for success, for living your ideal life, for living the greatest life. Number one rule, show up. 80 to 90% of success is showing up. You guys right now who are watching this video, who are listening to it, something great, something extraordinary is gonna happen to you throughout your day. Not in a magical sense, in the strict sense. My boy, Livingston, all the way from Tanzania, Africa. Appreciate you, brother. Can't wait to see you again on Mount Kilimanjaro. I'll be bringing my son out when he turns 13. Here we go, guys. Number one rule for success, you gotta show up. High school reunion this weekend. A lot of friends didn't show up. They missed that opportunity. Why? Excuses? Sure. How many times have you not showed up for something because you were uncomfortable? Because you decided, hey, look, it's gonna be a lot easier if I just don't do this. How many things have you missed or not made a priority because you said, you know what? I don't even need to do it. I'm not gonna show up. I'm sure it's a lot. Number one rule for success, for living your ideal life, show up. Number two rule, smile. Smile when you enter the room. Brandon, my boy Raphael, number two rules for success, smile. Your face is your fault. Abraham Lincoln once decided not to hire somebody because of his face. Not necessarily that he was an ugly human being. I don't believe any human is ugly, but because of his face when he walked into a room or a situation. Smile. It's the most contagious thing we can give. Kathleen O'Brien, it was great to meet you this weekend. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. Your number three rule for living your ideal life is believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in the abilities and the capabilities that you're working on, but maybe you don't have right now. Believe in the unknown, but you gotta believe. Doubt is going to creep into your mind. Getting ready for this short little video, I started racing. Well, let me just skip it. I got other things to do. I got a client coming to the house. The dishes need to get done. Monkey brain. No. Show up. Enter the room with a smile. And number three, believe. And those are your top three. Number four, commit. Make a commitment. I said a few minutes ago, I made a commitment to myself to be a father. Not a sperm donor, like my dad and so many dads are out there, but a father. Number four, you've got to commit. You got to commit to your job. You got to commit to your life. You got to commit to your wife. You got to commit to your family. You got to commit to do the work. And that's hard sometimes because work is hard, but you got to commit to something. Take it a step further. Write those commitments down. I created something called Fathers of the Future because it was so important for me to teach other men how to commit to their own life. Chris, good morning to you. Number 5, rules for success. My man, Chris Tousley, Pops, my next door neighbor. Visualize. You've got to visualize. You've got to close your eyes and see the success that you're going to have long before it happens. You have to see yourself acting in that position. You have to see your children growing up and growing older. And how do you want them to live? If you guys remember Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox, he had this thought process. Richard Rothen, my man Livingston, is on the call as well. 2 other brothers all the way from across the pond who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with me. Great to see you guys. We visualized climbing to the top of Kilimanjaro when we were on the base. I visualized holding a sign up of my family at the top. You've got to see it long before it becomes true, long before it becomes a reality. It has to be so detailed. You have to smell it. You have to see it, the clothes you're wearing, the weather outside. In order for you to see what you can't see right now, you have to go into great detail to do it. Rule number 6, be humble. Ego is the enemy. I'm going to say that again. Be humble. Have humility. Go into a room, go into a conversation, answer the phone in a humble manner. Nobody likes an asshole. That's it. Case closed. Moved on. Number 7, you got to stay hungry. Why? Because as we slowly start to get to the top, after we've showed up, after we've smiled, after we've believed, after we've committed, after we've visualized, after we've been humble, there's somebody else that's doing all those things. You think you're the only one right now who's working? Think about how many people are up and coming that want to take your job. They want to take your career. They want to take you. They want to take you down. And you can implement this into sports. You can implement it into competition. You can implement it into you got to stay hungry. I don't care if you guys have ever seen a Tony Robbins live event. The man is worth $500 million, 500 milli. Passion. Every day, clapping, getting it going. That man stays hungry. He will die hungry. And I'm going to be the same way. And I highly recommend, no matter how successful you get, once the house, once the cars, once the wife, once the kids, once the toys, once the 401k, once the retirement comes, too many people just say, I'm satisfied. I'm done. I'm out. You got to stay hungry for a lifetime. Number 8, raise your standards. This is a powerful one for me. Raise your standards. Elevate the people around you. You're hanging out with bottom feeders? Boom, swim to the top, because they're only going to try to pull you down. By raising your standards, you won't accept average. You won't be okay with good. You will constantly battle and fight for greatness. So remember that, guys. Raise your standards. Birds of a feather flock together. You're hanging out with trash. You smell like trash. Number 9, you got to focus. What does that mean? It means you can't be on social media all day long. It means you can't be watching Netflix 5 nights a week trying to reach your goals. It means you can't be distracted by things that don't serve you and your goal. So you got to learn how to do deep work. Deep work comes in chunks, hours at a time. Get disconnected. Go for a walk. Break every 55 minutes. Eat healthy, clean foods that aren't going to bring you and drag you down. And fight and fight and fight to get in the zone. Guys, I'm in the zone right now. I don't know where you're at. But take a look in the mirror. If you're driving, you're in the car, take a look. Look at yourself right now, okay? Are you in the zone? When you walk into the boardroom, when you walk into the bedroom, when you walk into your kid's school, how are you walking in? Like this? Because I can tell you right now, they can feel it. Are you walking in like this? Focus your attention on what you need. Uncle Jamie in the house. We're ripping it open today, big dog. Number 10, rules for living your best life. You gotta set goals. You gotta have people that know more than you do. Remember, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the fittest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So set goals and destroy them. Crush them. Crush them. Hire coaches, find mentors, attend classes, seminars, lectures, read books. You are your counselor. School's over. Most of us now, getting closer to our 40s, unless we're back getting our PhD or we're in our 50s, we're done with school, but you can never stop learning. You can never stop setting goals. Number 11, and my last tip for living, the 11 best years of my life, and I truly hope that if you implement some of these into your own life, you can now live your greatest 11 years of your life. Number 11, last but not least, invest Wait. Invest in yourself. That's the difference. Invest in yourself every day. I don't care if you're in stocks or you're in real estate or you're selling things on the side of the freeway. If you're not investing in yourself by eating good foods, by learning new ways to be better at your own skill, at your own craft, by hiring coaches and mentors. Guys, you may or may not have heard me say this. I said it this weekend at one of our events, but here's the deal. I've invested 20% of my income this year alone on hiring people to make me better, to help me get better, to help me improve. If you're not investing money, investing your finances, investing your time in yourself, I got news for you. Nobody else will. Nobody. Not your wife, not your kids, not your boss. You're only as good as you make yourself. You are only as great as you decide you want to become. Who's the biggest challenge in your life? You. Who's the biggest setback? You. Who's the only person that can propel you forward and make your best 11 years of your life happen starting right now? You. My name is KAYYEM. It's my son's 11th birthday, and I just wanted to give back. I just wanted to give these 11 ways to live an extraordinary life so that you can have the best 11 years of your life. These 11 years that I've spent with my son, building my family, building my business, building my career, building me, made up for the 10 years that I lost. And if you look at what it says in the words above, I asked a question. Have you ever had a bad day? Have you ever had a bad week? Maybe a bad month? Maybe some of you guys have had a bad year. Has anybody had a bad decade? Go ahead, throw it in there. Be proud of it, because if I could, I would reach in here and I would give you a hug. Those of us who have lived through a bad decade and we're still here, we're still alive, we're surviving, we survived this decade, we will never have a bad fucking day again. Never, never, never. Because we're going to do the work. Joyce, that year's over. You don't have to wait till January. Guys, we're going to be working a lot on goal setting, a lot on these 11 rules. I'm actually going to break them down one separate Facebook Live at a time over the next 60 or 80 days. I thank you guys for tuning in today. If you got something out of this, please share it. If you haven't already, follow our business page at KAYYEM, Master Lifestyle Coach. I love you too, Joyce. I got to see you soon. I need some black and yellow in my life. Please follow at Master Lifestyle Coach and reach out to me. If you're struggling, if you've had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, bad year, if you've had a bad decade, private message me and I will give you so many more hacks, so many more habits that you can implement into your life right now so that you can rip your day, your life, and your decade wide open. My name is KAYYEM. I truly appreciate you guys for listening to me today. I'm taking my son fishing, shooting, football practice, and then we're going to go to a scare house tonight, and I can't wait to spend the rest of the day with him. I'm going to disconnect. I'm out. I'm going to unplug after about an hour. So if you need to get at me today, send me a message right now. Get at me and share this message with somebody who needs to get picked up. Appreciate you all. Have a great day. Have an extraordinary day. Peace.